Hello everyone and welcome back. With Ship Showdown entering the Elite 8 this week and us getting down to our last couple of ships, I thought it'd be fun to just do a little bit of a kind of review summary video for each of the ships that will be moving on to the Final Four, as those ships will be our best in show ships for this year. So, first one that we're going to go over today is the Anvil Asgard that beat out the RSI Ursa medevac yesterday. And then throughout the rest of the week, I'll make a little video for each of the other ships that get through. I personally am expecting the Gladiator, Zeus Mark II ES, and Polaris to win for the other days. So if that is indeed the case, or either way, I'll be making a video about all those ships over the next couple of days here. Again, we're just going to do kind of a little summary, brief little tour of the ship, why you may consider getting it, when we might be able to actually, when you can purchase it in game, or how much you can get it in game for. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that today. And also with Ship Showdown, of course, we do have a free fly that started yesterday. So I did want to take a moment and say, if you are interested in getting into Star Citizen, if you have not made a RSI account yet, feel free to use my referral code when you make your account. It should be up on the screen here for you to see, or you can also click the link that I have down in the video description. That will get you an extra 50,000 starting money when you start in the game. That can give you a decent armor set, some weapons, and just some other basic starting gear that can help you out. So if you're interested in joining into the game, make sure to use that referral code. Now, before we take a look at the Anvil Asgard, let's take a brief minute to talk about its stats. So, the Anvil Asgard comes in at a length of 48.7 meters, 48.7 meters long, 34.1 meters wide, and 12.1 meters high when flying, otherwise when landed 15.5 meters tall. So it's a little bit larger than the Anvil Valkyrie. It sits right in the middle of a lot of the kind of larger end of medium ships, although it's not quite a large vehicle. Again, the primary purpose of this is to be able to hold, you can hold a decent amount of cargo, but really what you're going to be using this for is transporting big vehicles, ground vehicles, into a little bit harder to reach spaces. It's kind of a companion dropship to the Anvil Valkyrie, so the Valkyrie would drop in personnel, and this could drop in a large ground vehicle or two to help us support that infantry and whatever their objective is. So that's some of the base kind of information on the Asgard. Your crew is going to be 1 to 2. You do have 2 size 2 power plants, 3 size 2 coolers, and 4 size 2 shields, which gives it a pretty good amount of shield HP, and it has a pretty good amount of hull HP, so you are fairly tanky in it. You can take a decent amount of damage before you really need to start worrying. So those are all very, very good things to have for a dropship, because you need to be able to take a little bit of incoming fire to get your crew down, get them where they need to go, and then get them back out again. In terms of weaponry, the ship comes with 6 size 3 weapon mounts for the pilot, and an additional lower turret with 2 size 4s for your co-pilot, gunner, and so on. You also have 16 size 3 missiles that are under the control of the pilot as well, giving you a pretty good offensive package, especially when you're solo flying this. You can do quite a bit of medium to higher tier ship combat missions and PvE style missions, with the Asgard combined with its weaponry package, its shields, hull HP, able to tank damage, and all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely a pretty good all-rounder for either a solo player, or you can do a good amount more with it when you have a friend aboard as well. Now let's take a brief look at the interior of the Anvil Asgard. We'll start here at the back of the ship, where we came up the ramp a moment ago, and we are in the main cargo/vehicle bay. As you can see here, I have a Storm AA light tank that's stored in the ship right now. There is a little bit of room behind it and a little bit of room in front of it, so you could probably fit 2 of these in the Asgard at a single time, but the Asgard has quite a wide variety of vehicle configurations you can have in here. You can have two Storms, you can have a single Ballista or Nova tank, one of the very large ground vehicles. You can also carry, I believe, 4 to 5 as Cyclones. They're a little bit smaller ground vehicles. You can even carry some small ships like the Drake Golem, the Anvil Pisces, the P-72 and 52 Merlin, and a couple of other little small stub ships. So there's quite a variety of things that you can carry in here, and you still have a good amount of storage space. You have 180 SCU of cargo space on the grid here. So again, if you have maybe a Ursa and a small stub ship, you probably would still have some space to have a storage box or two if you wanted. So a really, really useful space, and I'm excited to see see what kind of things we can put in here in the future, what other ground vehicles we get, and what other ways that we can use this. As we go towards the front of the ship, we'll pass by a few component bays here that are in the walls of the cargo bay. That's where you're going to see some of your components. The Asgard does share the same kind of side doors that the Valkyrie has. We can open those here. This is so people could jump out, jump on. They even have a small door-mounted weapon here, although this is a little bit finicky and doesn't really work that great, and it has not that much ammo. But it's a pretty nice convenience to have for these little side doors. And on either side of these doors here, over there there's one, and right here there's one, is some personal storage lockers, which gives you a nice, generous amount of personal space. And then on the lower deck here, we have the engineering area. We have more components. If we go into this room, we have access to the lower turret, more component access, components, and more components. You do technically also have 2 jump seats here, one here and one here. So one could be for your engineer, could be someone who doubles as one of your door gunners and whatnot. So quite a bit of utility for those seats. Now let's check out the upper deck of the Asgard very briefly. How you get to that is by climbing up this ladder. This has been a little bit buggy. I don't remember off the top of my head if they have fixed this or not, but there's a little hatch that'll open up at the top here. You'll want to wait to climb the ladder until that hatch is open, because at least this happened a couple times to me. If you climb up while the hatch is closed or still opening, there is a chance that you will get knocked out. So just to be safe, you can wait until this is open. You can even shoot it open if you want, then it will stay open permanently, and then you can climb up the ladder. The upper deck of the Asgard is pretty Spartan. There's not a whole lot to it. We have our habitation quarters for the 2-man crew. On the left side, we have a small bathroom area. Opposite that, we have the crew sleeping quarters. So you got 2 beds here. They do have some nifty little screens that have some little pictures of some different Anvil ships, the Terrapin and the Hurricane and so on. So that's a nice little touch there. And then as we proceed down this hallway, on the left side we have small food dispensary. And then a weapon rack, which can carry one of the large weapons like a railgun or a missile launcher. Then you have some space for some primaries, sidearms, utility tools, and so on. And then opposite that, these, as far as I'm aware, are 2 suit lockers. These do not yet function, but at some point you'll be able to put extra suits of armor, heavy armor, flight suits, whatnot in these suit lockers. And now we can finish heading forward and check out the cockpit of the Asgard and take a brief look at what it looks like. So here we are in the cockpit of the Asgard. It's very similar to the Valkyrie. You have 4 very well placed MFDs. You have pretty good visibility, I would say, out the front, above you, pretty minimal struts. You even have a little bit of visibility below you, which is very nice, especially when if you don't have a chance to go into third person. It helps a little bit when you're landing, which is what you're going to be doing quite a bit in the ship, dropping people off, picking people up, so on and so on. So it's pretty functional, and I really like the Anvil design aesthetic, especially on the MFDs. Very reminiscent of like modern MFDs, I guess you could say, with kind of the green tints and whatnot. So I think out of all the different ship manufacturers, Anvil is definitely one of my favorites. But that is a brief look at the inside of the Anvil Asgard as part of celebrating Ship Showdown. The Asgard has made it to the Final 4, so very interesting ship, very utilitarian, quite useful. I've seen a lot of people refer to it as the Super Cutlass Black. I would definitely agree with that. It's just everything that a Cutlass can do, but a little bit bigger, a little bit more space, a little bit better, more tanky, more weapons. And I'm sure once we have other systems online like ship armor, this will be even better. So very excited for the future of the Anvil Asgard. But that is a basic overview of the Anvil Asgard. Again, I really love the ship. It's super duper versatile. I love using it. Again, you can do so many different things. You can do bunker running. You can do a lot of mercenary missions in the ship because you have that good pilot weaponry. Yeah, it has space for a friend. You have space for cargo. You can do cargo running in it. You're pretty tanky. You got a lot of defense. So it's just overall got a lot going for it. And I'm sure once we have more features online down the line, once there's more justification for using it in its dropship purpose of bringing in large ground vehicles to a ground target or something, I'm sure it'll be even better then. So I'd love to hear what you think about it down in the comments. If you are an Asgard owner, what do you think about it? Are there any things that you'd like to see changed or updated or anything on it? I know that it's a very new ship. Would you recommend it to a newer player that's getting into the game? Would you recommend that they pick it up once it's available? I would think with this having been out for about 3 or 4 months now, hopefully with CIG getting back into the swing of putting new ships in the shops more quickly, we'll see this in the game shops probably in the next 2 to 3 months or so. It'll probably be a bit pricey, but again, I think it'll be well worth the price you pay for what you get with the ship. Now, in terms of best in show paint colors, I would love for like just some good kind of black and gold themed paints, maybe some white on there as well. I don't know. I hope they don't go with purple and white again. I don't know. It just didn't seem to fit that well on like the F8, and I'd say the Reclaimer. I think it did okay on like the C1 and the Terrapin, but I don't know. The premier military fighter is in like this purple and white paint, and this big lumbering salvage capital ship that's in the same colors just didn't quite sit right. So hopefully there's some nice colors this year. If you have any thoughts on what you'd like to see for best in show paint colors, make sure to drop those in the comments down below. Again, drop any other thoughts you have on the Anvil Asgard down there. If you'd like to see more Star Citizen news updates, I do a lot of videos covering that. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and make sure to check out the next one, which should be coming out tomorrow. We'll see for what ship it's for, but I'll be getting it out as soon as I can. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the verse.